In this video, we will use the GoMask CLI to generate test data in a Postgres database. In this example, I have configured a simple application consisting of a Postgres database managed by Liquibase and an empty test data directory where we will specify our synthetic data config and rules. In the main area, you can see a database table called Users. Let's generate some data. The first thing we need to do is create a connection to our database using the connector's create CLI command. Next, we'll use the guided setup wizard with the setup command to generate the basic data generation config for our table. Once complete, the config will automatically be saved to the test data folder. Let's rename this file to reflect the type of routine and data. GoMask has automatically identified and configured the columns, data types, and key metadata required for the data generation routine. By default, the target record count is set to 1. Let's increase this to 10 and generate some data with the run command, specifying our newly created file. We can view the execution status of our data generation routine using the execution show command. Specifying the logs parameter will show debug logging to help diagnose any runtime issues. If we refresh our database table, you can see the test data will now be available. Finally, let's change our database structure by adding a date of birth column and amend the GoMask config to reflect the new column. Let's run the Liquibase update command to create the new column. We can refresh our database table and see the new column in the results. Switching over to our GoMask config, let's add a function mapping for the date of birth column. Firstly, we need to find a suitable function for this data. Let's use the functions command and filter by the datetime category. Generate birth date is a perfect match for our data. Let's use the show command to see what parameters it supports. We can see from the output that it supports a minimum and maximum age parameter. Let's add the mapping into the config. I've specified the minimum age to be 75 years old and the maximum age to be 90 years old. We can now use the run command and generate some data for that column. If we refresh our database table, we can see that the date of birth column has now been populated with ages between 75 and 90. If you'd like to learn more, please visit GoMask.ai.